No.
Hi, welcome to Mimi in the Kitchen. Hopefully this is a little bit better than before. I guess they had some technical difficulties through the space. So I'm making chicken Parmesan my way. And right now what I have in this pot is some cheese tortellini. Now these are 8 points a piece for a serving. I personally am not going to eat this, but my kids are. So I'm making this for them. I'm also making chicken Parmesan. Now, the way that I make my chicken Parmesan is with chicken breast. I have a half of a cup of Parmesan cheese. You'll also need a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. You will need a half of a tablespoon of garlic powder, and then salt and pepper to taste, okay? So what I've already done is I've mixed it in here. This is my coating. Now, this half of a cup of Parmesan cheese seriously is enough for 4 chicken breasts, maybe even more than 4. Sometimes I can get 6 out of it. I use no egg, no milk, no nothing like that. I just rinse my chicken breast after I trim it. And my tip of the day, when you trim, at least if you don't like chicken juice, I don't like chicken juice. So I always wrap my cutting board in a little plastic wrap, and then I put parchment paper on top. So then I just rinse it off with some water, and then I easily coat it. And then I'm using my Demaro, of course, because it doesn't ever stick. It's the best product ever. And I'm using, I want to show you a couple of cheap moves. So I'm sure Demaro people won't be happy. But what I do is I will take just an old pizza pan, literally from like 1983, when I was playing select soccer and baseball or softball. And I just put it in my mold, and then so that I don't have to have 35 of the square or rectangular pans, I use those old, as long as they have little holes in them and they're perforated, they work. So that's what I do. I just coat it, nice and coated, and then I just put it in here, okay? And I bake it on 400 for about 20 minutes or so. I usually do it for 10 and then I check on it. Now, I've already done 2 other ones. And I do 10 and then 5 and then 5. Okay, I've done 2 other ones, and look at how much of the mixture I have left. So I'm not even using a whole half a cup of your Parmesan cheese, which is always nice because then you save your points. Now, for my sauce, on the Parmesan cheese, I'm using my world famous, maybe one day, spaghetti sauce, and or we call it sugo, of course. So I am using that, and I don't know if this caught it on tape or not. I always put olive oil in my pot when I boil any sort of pasta at all. I always put a little olive oil so that it doesn't stick. Now, the Barilla kind of pasta doesn't really stick, so that's good. Now, what I'm using for my starch, because I cannot go without my carbohydrates, I'm using basmati rice. This is rice that I made a couple days ago. Actually, it was a week ago. Don't tell anybody. I might get botulism. No, I'm just kidding. I'm using my rice that I used a week ago that I made in the Demaro, and I mean, I've never made rice that turned out so perfectly, and it was in the Demaro. Here's another tip for you. If you ever heat, and really everything that I heat in the microwave, I always put a little water in it because that moisture really helps, and it doesn't dry out the food because it's really gross when things are dried out. So that's a tip for you. Now, for the, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I think I forgot, because of the technical difficulties, to put the timer on for the pasta, but that's okay, I'll figure it out. Okay, let's see what time it is. And I lost my glasses, you guys, I'm so upset. Okay, so here are some chicken breasts that I already made. Use my fancy old school plate. And I'm going to take one of these little, look at how beautiful that is. Isn't that cute? Okay, so what I'm doing is I am going to cut into it. I always take it off of my Demaro to cut because you don't want to ever cut but using a regular knife on your Demaro/Bone Cook products. So I am not going to broil on the Bone Cook mat. When I cooked these earlier tonight, I used my deep Flexi pan. I'm not going to put that in the broiler because that could ruin it. Now we have to have Sal, he's standing right next to me. He needs to try one of these tortellinis. So Sal, try this tortellini. I think they're done. They've been in there almost 8 minutes. Oh, and I'm doing easy tonight. So it's my chicken Parmesan, some steamed broccoli. I keep it in the bag. Aldi special. I love Aldi's. $3.30, and then I check it, and it's usually about 30 more seconds. So Salvatore's going to try that. With my broiling, I am going to use, just because I love you all, I'm going to use my heart-shaped pan.
It's good.
So, it's good? Awesome. Okay. When it is good, I am just going to turn it off and set it off of the heat. And I can't find my spray. I thought of everything. Don't tell anybody, but Jeff used this earlier and he put it in the wrong spot. So I am going to spray this because it is not one of my Demaro pans and I don't want it to stick. I hate when things stick. So I am taking both of these beautiful pieces of chicken. That one's not yet done. That's still pretty fat. Look how fat that one is. I could pound it out, but I don't like to pound chicken because then it gets the juice everywhere and it's really disgusting. So I am just going to take, and I'll have the recipe online. I already heated up some of my special Zugu, my spaghetti sauce, container like this that I'm now selling. Has my Zazitza flavor. It smells so good, I can't even stand it. So I'm just going to cover that, and I'll show it to you. And then here is a half of a cup of this is only a 1/4 cup of mozzarella. And isn't this bowl really cute? I got it at an estate sale for 25 cents. I love it. Okay, so here's a 1/4 of a cup. This is 3 points worth of mozzarella cheese, but I'm not even going to use all 3 points, obviously, on this itty bitty. And this is probably a serving right here. So I'll show it to you. It's pretty small, but I mean, that's about a fistful. That's what we do with Weight Watchers. Okay, so I'm going to put this on broil, and for literally 2 minutes. And I'm doing my rice. No, I haven't done my rice yet, but my rice can come later. I just want to try the chicken. I'll show you how good the chicken is with my Mimi in the kitchen cup that my friend gave me. Sue Hartman, thank you. So I honestly, because I got cut off because of the technical difficulties, I can't remember if I told you, I think I did, about making sure that you cover, at least if you don't want chicken juice everywhere, cover your stuff with saran wrap and parchment paper, not wax paper, parchment paper, because parchment paper is a lot thicker and more hardy. So, and then I always put everything that is a chicken juice in the dishwasher. So that's going in there. And oh my gosh, it looks beautiful. I can see it coming. Oh, and I'll put the chicken, another 25-cent find, and this was made in Italy. Pretty exciting. Now, the cool thing about Demaro too is it cools down really fast. So I can easily pick this up, spin out. Well, it's been out for a little while, but honestly, it cools down really fast. I love my Demaro stuff. Okay, yeah, be careful, buddy. Okay, yummy. Here's it. No, it's nice and brown. Cook these again on 400 for about 20 minutes or so. I'm gonna get all the yumminess on there. Yum. And my broccoli is done. So I always just get the broccoli, see if it's done. Feels done because it's hot and it's burning my fingers. I can eat the broccoli later. It's not a big deal. I don't have to plate everything so beautifully. But I do want to show you this, how juicy this chicken is. And it is really easy. And it's delicious. Even though Salvatore always says, I don't like that chicken. He always, after he eats it, after I force him to, or I'm going to beat him.
That's not true.
He eats it, and he's like, Mom, that chicken really is good.
That's not true.
It is totally true.
That is not true.
I love my Zugu.
Mom.
I'm sorry, I'm a little partial.
Mom.
Really good.
Mimi.
I can taste, hold on. I can taste the, don't you love the family? I want you guys to come over here for some of these launch parties and bone cook parties and other cooking parties because it is really fun.
Mom.
But, what?
It beat. I don't
Okay.
know which one it is.
I can taste the Parmesan through with the mozzarella and the Zugu. Delicious. I'm so glad to see you guys. I saw Kathy and Jeanette, and it's so good to see you guys. All right, come to my parties. I'm going to keep inviting you. Okay, bye.